I'm 79 years old, and 3 months ago a doctor sat across from me, folded his hands, and told me my heart was failing. Not dramatically, not today or tomorrow, just enough that he said, "You should start putting your affairs in order." That sentence has a way of rearranging your entire life in your head. I walked out of the hospital alone, sat in my car for a long time, and the first thing I felt wasn't fear of dying, it was regret, sharp, immediate, and familiar, like something that had been waiting for permission to speak. I realized I had spent most of my life believing I had time, and now, with my chest tightening and my breath shortening, time was the one thing I didn't have. These days, my mornings start with pills. White ones, blue ones, small ones. I drop sometimes because my hands shake. I sit on the edge of the bed until the dizziness passes. I listen to my heartbeat and wonder how many more mornings it will manage. No one tells you how loud your own body becomes when it starts to fail. I'm not telling this story to scare anyone. I'm telling it because when your body slows down, your mind speeds up. Memories don't come in order. They come in accusations. I keep thinking about the man I used to be. In my 30s, I was always tired, but proud of it. I worked long hours. I wore exhaustion, like proof that I mattered. When my wife asked if I could come home earlier, I said, just for a while longer. When my children asked if I'd help them with something, I said, later. I meant it every time. That's the part people don't understand. I wasn't lying. I truly believed later would come. There were small warnings even then. Chest tightness I ignored. Headaches I treated with coffee. A doctor once suggested I slow down. I laughed and said I didn't have that luxury. I thought illness happened to people who stopped moving. At home, the warnings were quieter. My wife stopped waiting up for me. Dinner plates went cold. Conversations turned into summaries instead of stories. I noticed it, but I didn't stop it. I told myself this was the cost of being dependable. I remember missing my son's birthday dinner. I sent a gift with a note that said I'd make it up to him. He thanked me politely. Children learn early who will actually show up. The years passed like that, not badly, just thinly, stretched too far. I kept promising myself that once things settled, I'd be more present. Once the kids were older, once work eased up, once I felt secure enough to breathe. But life doesn't slow down to let you catch it. The illness crept in quietly. Shortness of breath climbing stairs. Swollen ankles I pretended not to notice. Fatigue that sleep didn't fix. My wife worried. I waved her off. I said I was fine. I always said I was fine. Then she got sick. Not suddenly, gradually. The way serious things arrive when you're distracted. Hospital visits replaced evenings at home. I sat beside her bed answering work emails, convinced I could balance both. She watched me with a look I didn't understand until later. It wasn't anger. It was resignation. One night she asked me to put the phone away. Just for a little while. I did. We talked about nothing important and everything important. She died 2 weeks later. After the funeral, people told me I was strong. I wasn't. I was hollow. The house felt too big, too quiet. I realized I didn't know how to live without urgency, without someone waiting for me. My children visited, but there was a distance I couldn't close. They loved me. They just didn't need me. I had trained them well. Years later, when my own heart began to fail, I finally listened. I sat in doctors' offices instead of conference rooms. I stared at test results instead of calendars. And suddenly all the postponed moments lined up in my head like unpaid debts. There are things that can't be repaired when your body starts shutting doors. You can't rebuild years of absence with a few good conversations. You can't go back and choose differently when your breath runs out halfway through a sentence. I wish I could say I learned in time. I didn't. What I learned came slowly, painfully, and far too late. I learned that showing up halfway feels the same as not showing up at all. I learned that love doesn't wait patiently in the corner while you finish being busy. It shrinks, quietly, permanently. If you're listening to this, I'm not asking you to change everything. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm just telling you that the warnings you're ignoring aren't small. They only feel small because they repeat themselves. Your body keeps score. So do the people who love you. I don't have many years left. That's not a tragedy. It's just a fact. What hurts is knowing that when my heart finally stops, it won't be the work I remember. It will be the evenings I wasn't there, the conversations I delayed, the love I assumed would wait. If this meant something to you, sit with it. Don't rush past it like I did. I thought I had time. I was wrong.